Hello, hello. Happy Monday. Um, again, Facebook has changed everything on me. Well, this is like the fourth week in a row. But it seems to be working. Oh, because I see Sharon coming in. So that means that my trial and error this time worked the first go round. How is everyone doing? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Monday Facebook Live with Simply Elizabeth. I am going to tell you that tonight we are going to be doing Halloween projects, just so you have plenty of time to order products. Of course, you can change around anything that is Halloween. You can change it to anything you want. You can change it to Christmas or birthday or whatever. You just pick a different set and you can use those to create your projects. So we are going to dive in just a minute. I think I have enough light on. I got a new cover for my like crafting mat, and we're gonna try it, see if it works. I almost think it might be a little too dark. So that's your job tonight, is to tell me if it's too dark or if I need to go back to it being light. So hello Verna, hey Sharon, hey Kathy. You do like it? Okay, good, Sharon. I liked the slates in it, but we'll see if the projects show on it or not. Make sure you comment, make sure you share, because that obviously it helps me and my business. It helps get it out there. And then I will draw names at the end. While everyone kind of comes in, I'm going to actually grab 2 prizes. We are going to do... We are going to have the Friends of the Forest, and then some, and this is retired, and then we're going to do the Resin Stars. So those will be our 2 prizes. I'm going to try to just, after the video is done, I'll go through and pick the names. I may give it a couple days, or I've had a couple people say that they watch me on the replay, so they don't get to get in on the prizes anymore. So I know, I'm sorry. So we're going to maybe try that this week and see if Facebook doesn't delete me or whatever. We'll see. You know, they love me and they hate me all at the same time. Hello, hello. Hey, Miss Vicky. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to go over a couple things real quick. Don't forget for August, if you spend $50 or more in my online store with me, you get a free tutorial. This tutorial is from Stampin' Up! Demonstrators all over the world. So it's not just me, because I wouldn't have time to create all of these. My project is right here in the corner. There are 33 of them. So some of you who took my bingo will have actually already created this card, but then you have 32 more that you've never seen. So this is always well worth getting because it's really good projects. So again, $50 or more in my online store and you get this tutorial for free. Don't forget right now, or not right now, but if you're a demonstrator right now, you can get the Perfect Partners, which is a whole bunch of die sets that go with stamp sets in our catalog that do not currently have dies. So if you're a demonstrator, you can get them now. If not, be saving your money and get these when they come out on September the 1st, because they are amazing. And you will see these in our Facebook Lives in the coming weeks. So I haven't decided which 4 I'm going to do. But I will pick 4 of them. Well, I can pretty much tell you that it will definitely be these 3. The pig, the waterfall, the Yeti, and then I haven't decided if it's going to be the apple or the tree trimming yet. So I'll figure it out and let you know. But those you can start purchasing at the beginning of September. Also, right now is Celebration. Don't forget, that ends at the end of August. So there are like 2 weeks left for that. Sorry, excuse me. So there's 2 weeks left of that. You don't want to miss it because there are some great free products that are still available. There are some that are sold out, but there are still some. And with Celebration, if you join, you also get, right now, you get your $125 worth of products for only $99. Plus you get free shipping. You just pay tax. But then you also get this amazing stamp set. Plus you get these 3 notebooks, and you get this planner that has a ton of pages that go in it. It has stickers, it has a divider, like a hard one for you to pick your month, and then you've got all of those. So it's cute. It's in a really good case. I told my sister I would give her this planner when it was all said and done, because I do have one that I use that I get every year. That is specifically set to how I run my business and my personal life. Might be hard for me to part with it because I do like it so much. I like the cover a whole lot. So, but my sister, when she saw it, she like jumped on it. She was like, "You don't need that. I need it." Hello. All right, before we get started with our projects, I'm just going to go through, hey Corinne, hey Melissa, hey Kathy, hey Carrie. Hello everyone. Carrie, I saw some really cute pictures earlier on your Facebook. Some cute little baby there. I was scrolling through right before I posted to get started, and I saw some cute pictures. All right, we are gonna dive on in, and I'm gonna move some things around so that I can be all organized. For those of you that know me, I like to keep organized. Doesn't always work out so well, but I try to. So this is the bundle that we're gonna use. Now, I'm gonna tell you, I was originally going to try to do something, of course, Carrie, aren't we all a little biased on our family members? I mean, I have to say that my nieces are like the cutest in the whole wide world. No one compares to them. And I got to spend Saturday with them. Oh, y'all, I was so exhausted by Saturday night. Like, I fell asleep on the couch. We weren't home for very long. We did like a thing at the church, and it was a slip and slide. And of course I got the girls so that all 3 of them could play together and then, you know, do it. Man, just watching them wore me out. They were, and of course Jillian, who is 2, was like pumping it out. I mean, she wasn't about to give up. She wasn't stopping, and she was dragging up that hill after 2.5 hours of going up and down it. So, but I am a little biased, and I think they're the cutest in the whole wide world. So I'm there with you. So anyway, this is the set we're going to use tonight, the bundle. It's called Scary Cute, which also is the Scary Silhouettes. I'm going to be quite frank with you. I was a little disappointed that they didn't have the cutouts for the kids. I really wanted that because, you know, it says Scary Silhouettes. So I was thinking, okay, they'll have all those. Well, it doesn't. These are your dies. They're still cute. But just know that if you did decide to get this suite, you would have to fussy cut any of those people out if you wanted them to be, you know, like smaller. I will say, if you're not a Halloween person, this one right here, you could actually change into the Tooth Fairy. You could, what are some other fairies that come for kids? I don't really know them other than the Tooth Fairy. Because yes, aunties rock, but we don't know all those fairies that apparently kids have these days. You know, this one could be for anything as well. So you could definitely use a couple of these pieces for different stuff. The die set, these are two great labels that you could use differently. That's a cat. You can make that non-scary, non-Halloween cat. And then you've got a great little banner die here. So we are going to dive on in to this set. We're going to have to die cut stuff tonight because I wanted you to see what I want the dies too. Yeah, me too, Sharon. You know, and I found ways around it, obviously, but I would have loved to have had the dies for the silhouette children. So I found, but again, I did use the dies, like with the first card here. I literally I wanted to focus on those dies and so that you could kind of see what you could do with them. So this is the first card we're going to make. And I'm going to pull in all these pieces here. There are a lot of pieces of this one because it is a shaker card. We love those shaker cards. We're going to use the iridescent, no, the Everescent elements. Everescent elements. That's what I was trying to say. We're going to use these. I will say I did try to color these. I tried to put a little bit of ink in them. Some pumpkin pie. It didn't work out so well. And the reason for that is they are very slick. So the ink didn't take to them. You could probably, if you weren't going to put a whole bunch in, you could probably do your Stampin blends. That's the word. Oh, thank you, Verna. I don't do very many Halloween cards, Verna. I do one for my mom because her birthday's on Halloween. So mainly that's what I do. And I do like to give treats to like my coworkers' kids. So I do the treat boxes. So we'll be doing a treat box too tonight. But anyway, so didn't have much luck trying to dye them. But what I found was that because they are clear, whatever DSP you put in the background or color cardstock, they will take on that color. So it ended up working out exactly the way I wanted it to. Okay. But I just wanted to tell you that because when I was playing with it, let's just say after an hour of them sitting, I put them in my hand to go put them in the shaker and my hands were were orange. So even after an hour, they were not dry. I tried to heat them with the heat tool a little bit to get them dry. It didn't work. So just know that it takes a while. Now, this is based off of, I will say this is kind of cased off of a card I saw from another stamp company. We won't mention them. But so I kind of took their layout and went with it. And then adapted it to Stampin' Up! Supplies. So, if you go and search Halloween cards, it's probably one of the very first ones you'll ever come across. Okay, so let's dive in. I know you don't want to hear me yap too much. Let's see, where are my supplies? Here we go. I've moved my desk around again. But it's because I had little children in my craft room over the weekend. So I had to like hide the sharp scissors and the sharp pokey tools. So I had to get them out of reach for the youngest one. Okay, so we're going to do that as our card base. We're going to go ahead and take our large piece and we're going to stick it on the inside. So we're going to grab our adhesive. And I did stamp something on the inside too. I can't remember what it was I stamped though. I think I stamped the 3. Yeah. All right, so we're going to stamp that on here just because I think they are so stinking cute. So we're going to ink it up. Now, it's a solid stamp, so make sure that you get really good coverage on it. You could also use our, hello Morgan. You could also use Stays On to do it. So just make sure that if you do decide to use Stays On, that you clean your stamp really good afterwards. I knew I wouldn't be able to do that per se, so I decided to go ahead and just use black memento, which I think turns out just fine. But definitely the Stays On makes it very vivid black. All right, so we've got that done. We're going to use that stamp a little bit later, so I'm going to move it back over there. All right, so now we need to take this white piece here, and we are going to cut it out using the Stylish Shapes dies. And I'll pull in the machine in just a second. We're going to cut it out with this small one here, because then we're going to take a piece of basic black, and we're going to cut it out with that one right there, and also this large one. So we're going to actually put them in together. We're going to layer them up, and then we're going to run it through the machine, and it's going to create this right here. Okay. All right. So, and then we'll cut out all of our other pieces as well, and we'll get all that taken care of to start with. All right. Make sure I get in the camera here. And let's roll it out. My second magnetic mat is still hanging on pretty good. It is starting to come apart, but it's still got a little bit more life with it. All right, so we're gonna do that, and then we're gonna do the moon. And I decided to do Mango Melody for the moon. I didn't, with all the orange, I didn't want it to be too yellow. So I decided to do an orangey yellow, which is that Mango Melody. All right, and then let's go ahead and do this circle. We need the smaller one for that. And then I'm gonna take this piece right here. I'm gonna move that down just a little bit. I'm gonna stick this in here. And we're gonna go ahead and cut out 2 large bats, 1 medium bat, and then our scary house. And then I have to find, there it is, where I put my plate. Okay, then we're gonna run all this through. If you wanted to with the bats, you could definitely use adhesive strips, but I didn't think you needed it, and I'll show you why. It's not too bad. We will be using a lot of liquid glue today though. All right, I probably put that a little far down, but we'll make that work. Save this for scrap or for another project. All right, let me put all these back on so I don't lose them. And then we're gonna take all these off. You know, they all stick to this plate. Okay, a trick when it sticks to the plate, let me show you. You take your pick tool on the putty side, and you just take it down like that. So it's like doing an embellishment. All right, and then there we go. All right, we'll scrape these off really quick. And put them in the bucket. Okay. Now we need one more. And here we're gonna take the large one. And here's why a magnetic plate comes in so well, because now we've got our inside piece and that looks even. So now we're gonna run that through. And about an hour after the video goes off, I will say that you can go on and find the measurements and the link to all the supplies that I used, just so you have that. But it'll be about an hour after I get off here. I was having issues uploading my pictures. My pictures won't pull in for some reason, so I'm gonna figure that out once I get off. And I gave up working on it last night, so I figured y'all would be okay with that. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to take some pumpkin pie and we're going to put it down here. We're going to blend it in. I don't want it too dark, and I had to re-ink my pumpkin pie, so I'm going to make sure that it's light. Light up at the top, so it kind of looks like it's being blended in from orange to white. And then on the bottom, I am going to make it a little darker. And then it'll go to light. All right. Now what we want to do is we want to take our black memento and we want to stamp "Trick or Treat, You're So Sweet." And I'm gonna stamp it on my grid paper first to make sure that I get it straight. That's pretty good. All right, so let's see if we can get it on here straight. I'm gonna move it down just a touch. All right, hold my breath, hold my breath. Not bad, not bad. Okay. Now we're gonna move that grid paper and your blending every time will look different. So, all right, we're gonna attach this and we're gonna do it with liquid glue. One of the reasons why I was wanting to change to this is because it's slick, so it means I can get glue up if I get glue on it now, instead of having to change it every time I get glue on it with the paper one I had. All right, so that's a whole lot. We definitely don't need that much, so I'm not even squeezing the bottle. And it's just coming out. There we go. So I'm gonna pick up some of that and dab it over here. Pick up some of that. Dab it over there. All right. Still feel like that might be a little much, but we'll make it work. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna flip this over. Oh, oh, oh. And we're gonna stick it along this outline. So it's almost like it has a looking glass around it, okay? All right. Now that I've got that on there, we're gonna take a piece of window sheet, which I've already cut, and we're gonna stick this on here, although now I have glue on it, so let me see if I can get that off. I'm gonna rub it on my pants. That's the trick. Rub it on your pants, see if you can get the glue off. I might have made it worse. All right. Yeah, I made it worse. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut another piece. I've got it. Be careful with your window sheets because, yeah, it'll get glue on it, and once you get it on there, it doesn't come off. You'll have to, I mean, you can clean it off, but it'll take it a minute. All right. So there we go. Now we're gonna keep it away from the glue, but we're gonna put it on there just like that. And we're just gonna kind of go around the outside of that window. I love shaker cards. I don't make them very often, but I sure do love them. And then we'll just lay that down. And then we're going to let that dry for just a second on the back there. And while it dries, we are going to take our grid paper again. And let's actually flip this over. We're going to put some adhesive down here at the bottom. We're going to take a strip of the black and white DSP, and we're going to line it up with our grid paper. I'm going to put it here, and what I want is 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch is 2 of these boxes right here, okay? So then I'm going to flip this over, and I want it to be even. So I'm going to line it up with this line here and this line here, and then I'm going to press down. And now this piece down here is going to be even, and then I can trim off whatever is left over on the edge. Maybe if I can get my scissors in there. There we go. All right. So there's that. Now we are ready to flip it back over, and that should be pretty dry. We are going to take some of our foam adhesive strips, and we're going to create a barrier. And I think I got an eyelash. I did. All right, so we're going to create a barrier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here, and I'm going to, one of the great things about this foam adhesive, it bends. So it's great for bending and going around circles or squares or anything like that when you're doing shaker cards. All right, so now, there we go. All right, let's grab another piece. And then we're going to start back up. We want to make sure that they are butting up right next to each other, that there is nothing that can get between it. And we're going to keep rotating until we get to there, and then we're going to snip it. And then you're going to make sure that those two pieces are butting up right next to each other as well. You can put your extra right back down on your sheet and save it for next time. I love these. I will tell you, make sure you realize, actually we'll need more in a minute, but these are a little higher than our regular dimensionals. So just know that these don't necessarily, if you're going to pop the rest of something up and have these on it too, you need to use one or the other. We're going to go ahead and take off the backing, and we are going to then take our little elements here, and I'm going to put a whole bunch in there. Now the larger ones almost don't fit, they almost don't shake. So make sure that they're all flat into your little shaker. I'm going to put a little bit more in there. I was a little stingy on the first one, so I'm not going to be so stingy on this one. So now I just want to make sure everything is flat, and it looks to be flat. We're going to take our DSP. Now in my sample I use this side. I think I'm going to use this side for this one. And then we're just going to lay it right on there. For some reason it's not sticking. There it goes. It wasn't catching. All right. I'm going to give it a good rub. And then when I turn it over, now I have a shaker card. And you see how those big ones kind of stick up? You shake it real good, they'll go back down. All right, so now let's take and add our little extra element pieces here. Since this part is moved up a little, since I didn't put that in the right spot, I'm gonna flip my house so that the long fence goes to the other side, okay? And it won't matter. You can put them on both sides. You can show either side of it. This one, we're gonna use some mini mini dimensionals. We're gonna put one here, and then here, and then we're gonna put one more on, just to make sure it stays. All right, so then we'll pop this over, and we're gonna put some of the top of the house up on the actual window sheet, and then some will be down, okay? And if your house is crooked, it's okay because it's a haunted house, right? Another thing is, you could also, if you wanted to not make a Halloween card, you could put this as any other color, and then it wouldn't be so Halloween-y, you know? I know, the house is definitely cute. You could even use this as like a little gingerbread house. So there's all kind of different things you could do with that little house. All right, we're gonna take and put our little moon up here. We're gonna use some liquid glue for it, if it doesn't spit out at me again. Now it's, there we go. Well, and it spit out at me again. All right. And then we're gonna adhere this right up here in the corner, like that. And then we are gonna do our bats. So one bat we're gonna pop up, and we're gonna use many dimensionals for that. And these many dimensionals will fit just perfectly. If you turn it just right, you can get the pointy parts to match up with the bottom pointy parts. Okay, we'll take those backings off. And then we're gonna stick it right here, like that. Then these we are gonna put on with a little bit of liquid glue. Liquid glue goes a long way. All right, we're gonna put this one down here, and I'm just gonna leave it where it falls. So a touch there, and a touch here. And then this one's gonna go right about here. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna move a bunch of this stuff so it's not in my way. All right, and then we're gonna flip this over, and we're gonna put these strips on here because we're gonna pop it up on our card base. So we're gonna just cut when we get to the end. And they are so skinny that they will fit all along the sides of our shaker card as well, and on the top. And we're gonna stick this here. Just trying not to get so close to the edge. You don't want to see it. Goodness gracious. There we go. All right, and then this is gonna come over here. Right there. And then here. And then we're gonna do right there. And we've got this little extra piece, so we're just gonna stick it there. All right, so there we go. Now we're gonna take all these pieces off, or all the backings off. And once we get the backings off, then we can stick it right onto our card base. trying to be careful not to squish the front, since, you know, that glue was popping out everywhere. All right, so there we go. Now we are going to just place this right on the front. And ta-da! Oh, look, my bat fell off. We need to flip it back around. All right, we're going to press him down. See if we can get him to stay. There we go. All right, so there we go. So there's your outside, and then there's your inside with the little trick-or-treaters going to the haunted house. That's the original. It really didn't change much of it with that being down a little bit further. So there we go. Oh, thank you, Kathy. Oh, Dora, it's okay. No worries. Come in when you're ready. All right, so let's go to card number 2. I'm gonna move all that, although I think we need it again. But I'll get a little organized before we bring in the next card, right? All right, so this one, if you're on my team, you have seen this one, just with a different set on it. Oh, yes. Kathy with a K, you definitely need to make it. You will have so much fun making them. They are awesome. And the grandkids would love to make the shaker cards too. And yeah, they are so easy. They're easy to make and they're fun. So you can make complicated shaker cards, but y'all know me, I am easy. It cannot be difficult. It cannot be a lot. So this is our second card, but this is a card that I was gonna pull out my sample card that I did for my swap for, no, it wasn't my swap. It was the team challenge. That's what it was. It was our, no, it wasn't. Kathy, what was it? I'm drawing a blank. What did I make the card that was similar to this for? Mystery. It was our mystery card. I knew it would come to me. It just takes a minute. So this is the same layout that I did. I just changed it to this set and put a little girl on the front because I thought she was so cute. So this, again, could be Halloween. You could make this totally not Halloween. You could change the sentiment to be happy birthday, have fun, thinking of you, whatever. So it could be totally different because the colors are bright and fun. So, and that's kind of what I wanted to do, was I wanted to make stuff that you could swap out to be other things. And even with the shaker card, you can swap it out with different colors, a different stamp set, and you're good to go. All right, so let's do this one. This one is a little different too, and I'm going to show you a card. You cannot judge at all. I'm going to pull it out. I have a whole stack of cards that I keep for different, that different people send me that are from my team or from when I first got started with stamping. And of course, you know, this will be the one time that I can't find the card. Oh, yeah, okay. The card has gone missing, which means that I put it somewhere because I showed it to someone. I was going to show you, though, the very first card that I ever made. And it is somewhere in one of my drawers. And it's not there. It was this design. It was this layout, this card layout. I will find it and I will post it. But what it did was it had a back piece. And then it had a layer on top of it that was actually the card itself. So it's really cool and different and really simple to make. And doesn't use as much cardstock, actually. Y'all, I'm determined I'm going to find it because I literally had my hands on it the other day for something else. But I'll post it because, you know, where it's supposed to be is never where it's going to be, right? All right, so that's our card base. This right here, this basic black piece. And then this white piece, this basic white piece is going to be our card insert, more or less, what you're going to write on. So we're going to go ahead and fold this in half. I did find that it's easier to score when you do a card base like this and then you add your actual card folding part on top. I did find that it's easier to score it before you actually fold it. And I think it gets it because you're cutting that card stock down to exact measurements. So I think it really does help to give it that extra score too. Okay, before we put it on there, we need to add all of our little pieces. And we're gonna lay them out. I'm gonna make the colors a little different order. But we're gonna lay them all out first. Let's put, that's not the right size. Okay. So that's gonna go there, that's gonna go there. We'll put the two girly colors next to each other. And then that. And then let's grab a Coastal Cabana. And let's cut the correct measurement. Oh, let's see, and then I need to cut it down. And again, if you give me about an hour after the live, it'll have the website, my website will have all the measurements on there. All right, that's right. Okay, and I'm laying these down because I just want to make sure that I get the spacing pretty close. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm just trying to make sure I get it semi-close. And you could use some like temporary adhesive if you wanted to make it a little bit better. We're going to use some liquid glue. And we're going to start with the bottom. And then we're going to adhere it. And again, I'm not going to try to put a whole lot of glue on it because I don't want it to squish out. And I'm just going to make sure that the bottom is even all the way across. Again, if it's not perfect, it's not the end of the world. All right, so we got that. Now we're going to come up here. And we're going to put this one up here. And the reason I did choose liquid glue is it gives me a little bit of time to move it around if I need to, because I kind of know what that spacing should be. So I just want to make sure I have a little bit of time to space it. All right, and then we're going to do our Mango Melody. Okay, and then our Gorgeous Grape. This is the part that takes the longest, is putting these little pieces on. But it's not bad. All right, and then we're gonna do our Granny Apple Green. And our Melon Mambo. And I used scraps for this card. So if you have scraps, this is a great card to do it with. It's probably why this piece was wrong, because it was a scrap. And it probably looked close when I was pulling all the supplies out. All right, so that one's a little crooked, you see that? But it's not gonna matter, because when we cover up with our circle, it will be just fine. Okay, so now we're gonna put liquid glue on the back of this. Again, I'm using liquid because it's a little harder to see when you just have a piece like this, to get it all down even. So I decided to do liquid glue because then it gives me that little bit of time that I can move it around and make sure that's perfect. Okay, so now that you have this, you could layer it up with any stamp set that you want. And any stamp set, any dies, anything that you want, you could build it up. That card could have been a 10 and 20. Oh, Carrie, yes, it could have been. It could have been. Oh, I need to do a craft room tour one day. Whew. I don't really know if you want me to do that, Dora. Because, I mean, it is organized, but sometimes I feel like it's very junky. Maybe that would really make me clean it out. I have been cleaning out, though. If you come to my classes, I've been getting rid of stuff. I've been getting rid of retired products. I've been getting rid of old kits. I've been getting rid of paper pumpkins. All of it. Okay, so now we're going to stamp our little girl. And you know, when I want to put my hands on something, I totally cannot. It doesn't matter how organized I am. But I can guarantee you, as soon as I go off, I'm going to go to that same drawer where it should be, and it's going to be right there. Because I am truly an organized person. Everything does have a place. All right, so I'm inking it up really good because, again, it's a solid, it's a silhouette stamp. And then I'm stamping down. I'm going to hold it there just an extra second. Okay, so there we go. And then cover up that. And now, oh, actually, nope, I need that. All right, so we're going to take this. We're going to take our Boo stamp. And we're going to stamp Boo just in a couple of spots. Like that. Then we will cover that up and move it. Then we're going to take Mango Melody. Before we do that, though, we want to clean our stamp. So we're going to take our little chamois and give it a good clean. And then we're going to take our Mango Melody. And I did re-ink a Mango Melody as well. Since I'm back to in-person classes and events, I have had to start really inking up my pads again. Let me do one more. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to take and attach this to a black. Now this is the Stylish Shapes. This is a layering circle. And I don't use the layering circles as often as I used to, since the stitched shapes or the Stylish Shapes came back and they're stitched. But these are the layering circles. These are wonderful to use when you want to stack your dies like this. So you have the scalloped and then the straight edge. All right. So we're going to flip this over. We're going to get some adhesive on it. And then we're going to plop it right on down. Then we're going to take and put some adhesive right here. We're going to take some of this black and white gingham ribbon, which is my favorite ribbon in the catalog. And I've been dying to use it for Halloween. So we're going to pop that up there. There. And then we're just zigzagging it across the card. I need a little bit more. Okay, we'll trim this off down here. We will take dimensionals, and we're going to do regular size dimensionals for this one. No minis for a big piece. We're going to stick one in the middle because if you send it through the mail, you don't want it to go flat. We will flip this over and then we will stick it right there across our ribbon. The last thing we want to do is we want to add these gorgeous grape glossy dots sorted onto there. So we are going to take our take your pick tool. We're going to slide those bad boys right on off and put them right onto our card front. We'll put one there and there. And that is 4, so we need one more. We'll put that one there. Alrighty. So that is card number 2. See, not shabby at all. That one again is very easy. Once you do all the cutting, you're good to go. Oh, hey, Linda. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna have to say I like the, y'all know I like fall colors and stuff, but I love the brights that Stampin' Up! Has. Now, Night of Navy is my favorite color. Yes, I know that's not in the bright family, but probably when I first started holding classes, the brights and the neutrals were the first colors that I got, because as a new crafter, that's what I say go for. Your neutrals and your brights, because it's got pretty much every color that you can think of that you'll need in it. And so that's what I used mostly. And so that was the cardstock I built up and stuff too. So I kind of fall back to the brights, and definitely like during the spring, I kind of really definitely go for the brights. So these are some of my favorite color combinations though. These 6 colors right here. So, all right. Giving you lots of information about me tonight, right? Okay, I'm gonna clean up just a touch just so I can bring in the next one, because I need a little bit of room for the next one. This one is gonna be a box, and I found these at the Dollar General. I believe the Dollar Tree has something very similar, but there are 4 in here. I'm pretty sure there's 4. Where does it say? Nope, there's only 3. Yeah, okay, so there's only 3. I think the Dollar Tree may have some that only has 2 in it, but I know I saw somebody with them, but I can't remember who it was. But there's one that you can find that has 2 ghosts in it, and then this one's got the 3. So these were found at Dollar General, and this is what we're gonna make. We're just making a little slider box for it. Nothing fancy at all. I know it may look fancy, but I promise you it's not. One thing I really wanted to do was I really wanted to use the washi tape. We haven't had washi tape in a really long time, and I love washi tape. So I decided that, because I originally was going to add another bow, and then I didn't like that because I was just going to add a little bow here. So what I did was I put the washi tape, and I ended up falling in love with that. So you can tell me in the comments if it's too much washi tape, or if you would add more, or if it's just right. Yes, slide, carry, slide, because slider is so much easier. And then you know what? When you gift it to someone, they can use the ribbon for, you know, a gift or whatever, or they could just reuse the box for something else. And they don't have to rip the pretty box that you worked so hard to make. They won't rip it to shreds if they can slide the gift right out. Oh, the Halloween stamps are, yes, Kathy, they are. I really like the stamp set, for sure. And then of course, here's where we're using those little trick-or-treaters again. Okay, so let's do this. We're gonna move this over for just a moment. We are gonna take a piece of gorgeous grape. This is cut 7 by 9.5, and then we're gonna score it 1 on the 7. And we're going to score it 2.5, 3.5, 6 5/8, and 7 5/8 on these. 5/8 is the notch on our simply scored board, it is the notch after the half mark. If you are on our trimmer, it is 2 marks after the half, okay? Just so you know that. Again, these measurements and score lines and all that, it will be on the blog after I get it posted and figure out why my pictures won't upload to it. Once I get the pictures, then it's done, because the pictures are taken and ready. I just have to get them to go there. Okay, so this is our Simply Scored board. If you've never used this before, this is an amazing tool. It is great for scoring boxes. It is great for scoring your card bases, all of that stuff. I mainly use it for 3Ds. I don't really use it for scoring card bases, but for 3D projects, it is a must. Okay, so we're on the 9.5 side. So we're gonna score it at 2.5. I'm gonna use the thicker tip since we're doing it as a box. So 2.5 and 3.5, and then 6 5/8 and 7 5/8. And you see I marked them so I wouldn't forget, right? Because you don't use the 5/8 very often. And then on the short side, the 7, we're gonna score it at 1. Okay, and that is it. That is it for the slider box. Now we're gonna burnish all of our sides. So we're gonna grab our bone folder and we're gonna give it a good crease. And we're gonna do that on this side and on this side. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to cut all of these. And we are going to cut off this one here. And then we're gonna cut these. On the inside, we're gonna cut them down at an angle. And then cut straight up on our long parts. So on our little tabs, we're gonna have it notched in, but on our long tabs, we're going straight up. And it might have helped if I actually went straight up. There we go. All right, so we're gonna do that again. Straight up on the long side, or on the long tab, and then notched in on the short. Notched in and straight up. All right. Now we are gonna take tear and tape. And I wanna make sure I'm gonna do this right. I want the long, okay. All right, so we're gonna put tear and tape here. And it doesn't, honestly, it doesn't matter too much which one you do as your tab, but on top or bottom, but we're gonna do there. And then we're actually gonna do here. Because this is gonna go under. All right, now we are gonna take the backing off. Maybe, there it goes, there it goes. Thanks for working. Okay, and then literally we're just gonna fold it over like this. Okay, and that's creating our box. I do understand that there is a separation there, but that's gonna be the bottom. Nobody's gonna see it. And then you'll see there's a little bit of a separation here. Again, this is gonna fold in, this is gonna fold in, and when you do that and then fold over, you're not gonna be able to see really that little notch there because you're gonna have it flipped over like that. If it bothers you, leave that other tab and you can fold those two down and then in. But I thought it made it just a little too bulky, so that's why I cut it off. But obviously you do not have to. You may do as you wish. All right, and then there. So I'm putting 2 pieces here because I want to make sure it's good and sturdy and stays. And then we're going to take the paper off. maybe it doesn't want to come off for me apparently tonight. Goodness. Let's try it this way. There we go. All right, so we're gonna fold that piece in, fold these two in, and then fold that up. And ta-da. Okay, so there's our top of our box. We're gonna take a piece of that black and white again. And we're gonna use the gray and black polka dot side. You could also use the white and black polka dot, but I thought that was a little too bright for this project. We are gonna use liquid glue because I want to be able to move it, make sure I get it in the right spot. Okay, and you can always stick your hand in and rub it, make sure it's on there good. All right, so the next thing we are gonna do is we are going to stamp on here. I'm gonna pull in my sample. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead before we do any of that. Let's go ahead and add our washi tape. Okay. I'm gonna add orange here. And then we're gonna add a piece of green. We'll do this orange and this green after we put our sentiment on. We'll come back and do that one. Okay, I'm trying to find, I'm trying to find the beginning. There it is. Okay, and then we're just gonna take a little piece and lay it across here. Like that. Okay, then we're gonna take the black. We're gonna kind of run it. Let's do this. All right, so we're gonna run it right about here. And you can take it all the way around if you want. I just kind of let mine go on the sides, but if that bothers you, you can make it go all the way around to the back. And you could always put a piece of DSP on the back as well if you wanted to. All right, so we got the black on there, and then we're gonna take the gorgeous grape and we're gonna kind of wrap it around this way. This is very pretty, glittery, wonderful washi tape. And I will say, for those of you who do not like glitter, do know that some of it does come off, but it's not bad. It's not nearly as bad as like paper and stuff that you find in the store or decorations you find in the store. It's nothing like that. If it was, you know I would not be using it at all. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take our ghost. Let's take our ribbon and let's wrap it around. And we're gonna tie a big bow on it. And we're gonna stick it inside so that it's just done. The inside part will be done. All right. So all I've done is wrap it. And then I'm gonna tie a bow. After I concentrate for a really long time, apparently. All right, there we go. All right, and then I am leaving the ends just a little bit longer on it, just so that it sticks up and out and over, and then it just slides right on down, just like that. And you can tame those down if you really want to. Okay, so now we've got all that. Done, done, and done. So let's work on our stamping and let's work on our die cutting. So I'm going to pull in Gorgeous Grape and I'm going to stamp the bats. A whole bunch. Oh, you know what? I need to stamp off. You know what? We'll stamp off on our gorgeous grape. How about that? And then that should be enough. Okay. We are going to take our sentiment, and in basic black, in our black memento, we're going to stamp our sentiment right over that. Now, I got this idea right out of the catalog on the page that shows the suite. So, not an original thought of mine. It is the case. If you look at the catalog, there are lots and lots of ideas for you to pull from. Oh, Berna, yes. The kids love the washi tape. Love the washi tape. Okay, so we're going to cut that out. I'm going to cut it down so that we can fit more than one thing in our machine at a time. Then we need this for our cat. So this is going to be our sentiment. This is going to be our cat. This piece right here is going to be our sandwich. It is going to be another sandwich. It's going to have the tree and then that. And it's going to layer up. And my basic black piece is literally just wide enough, so we're going to washi tape it down to make sure it stays. And then on this piece, we're going to do just the large. And before we do it, let's go ahead and stamp our kids. And we're going to grab the black memento that I just put up again. Getting it good and inked up. We're going to stamp them down here at the bottom. Perfect. All right. Now, we're going to move all that so we can pull in our machine. And I'm going to start with this piece first, and then we'll put the other in. All right, so I need to make sure that I'm doing the black piece right. I think I actually have it because of that magnetic plate, so I'm going to run it through. On the back of my black, I do have adhesive sheets so that it turns it into a sticker. So I'm going to run it through just a couple times just to make sure that it cuts through all those layers. All right. That is perfect. All right. So now we've got all that. So we're going to lay that aside. And then we are going to run everything else through. Okay, so this one is going to come through like this. Then we've got our sentiment, our little cat. We're going to cut off the excess. And then we're going to put our moon. And our moon this time is with Daffodil Delight. Okay. And we're going to run all this through. Sorry for the shaking. It'll be over soon. Okay. There we go. There we go. I'm going to put all these pieces back on so I don't lose them as we take it off. Okay. And then that little scrap of Daffodil Delight, I'm going to hold on to because I'm going to show you what we are going to do to the cat's eyes. Oh, nope. I want to put the die away though. Okay. Let's take out this piece here. So that is the piece that we are going to insert on top of our stamped piece. All right, now we're done with this. Whew. That thing gets heavier and heavier as you go. Okay, now before we put the limbs over our trick-or-treaters, we are going to not make our piece of basic white cardstock so white. So we are going to take a blending brush, and yes, we are going to take black and we are going to ink it up. And that gives it a little bit of a dark sky anyway, which is what we want. But I don't want it to be too dark, but I don't want it to be white at all. Okay. So now I'm good with that. And I think I had originally stamped the moon on here, but I didn't end up liking it. So we are going to not stamp it. We're just going to do the die cut on it. All right. Now we've turned this into a sticker. So now we're going to take it off. We're going to take that sticker part off. And I'm going to stick my head in the camera, I'm sure, because now I need to get this lined up just right. Oh, look at there. Okay, perfect. Okay, and then we're going to add a little piece of dimensional. To the moon, and we are going to place it up here in the trees. Okay, now for our little cat here, we're going to take a little piece like this from the moon, and we are going to flip this over. We're going to put a little bit of adhesive in between the eyes, so a little bit of liquid glue. Maybe. Well, there we go. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to take my take your pick tool and I'm going to stick it right over the eyes. So now our eyes are yellow. Yay. Okay. Makes it a little bit more Halloween-y, right? Now, I'm going to tell you guys this, and I usually do tell you this, but I am not a scary Halloween person. It does have to be cutesy. So I kind of thought that these were, even though they have like a little bit of a scary to them with the woods or whatever, is still cute because it's little trick-or-treaters. So, nothing scary about it. And no, Melissa, they've kind of just discontinued it. I don't even know if they're going to work on it anymore. They have not had any luck. And when they mass produce it with the adhesive, it's not working. So when they just had a little bit that they were putting together of them and for testing, they were fine. But now with the mass production, they don't have the same result. So I don't know. So I don't know if they'll ever have it again, which is so sad. Because honestly, this has been a great plate other than the separation. So if they could figure out the glue part, we'd be good to go. So I put a little bit of adhesive there at the top. We're just going to line up the cat and adhere it there. Yay. Okay, now we're going to pop it up. And we're going to pop up everything. And I'm going to have to cut my sheet here. I got all new scissors. so I should not be cutting adhesive with them. But I got all new scissors, and of course, those of you who were watching last week, I lost all of my take your pick tools. Guess what? I found them all. They were in a paper pumpkin box that I was not completed with, and they were in a kit that I was working on. So I bought all new take your pick tools and scissors, and then I found all my take your pick tools, which is usually how it works, right? Okay, we're gonna do a small one here on the cat up here at the top. And I think that should fit. Yep. And then we're gonna do that other little piece that I just had that was over here. Oh, here. Right here. We're gonna put that on the cat's eyes. Okay. Now we are gonna pop up I moved my trash bucket out of my way again, and it's too far away. Okay. And 2 more. Okay. Now we're gonna flip this over and we're gonna put it at an angle. Perfect. Then we are going to put a little bit of adhesive on the back of this. And we are going to put a dimensional, to make sure I put it in the right spot at the bottom. And then put a dimensional here on that side. And then this part where my finger is gonna sit right onto the label there, okay? Now let's take, last but not least, our orange again, which I'll know this is a Clemson color, but I'm using it because it's Halloween. And we're just gonna slide that up underneath the edge and attach it like that. And then we'll take the green one more time, tear a little piece off, and put it at an angle like that. Okay, so there is project number 3. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I am going to clean up my area. I'm gonna eat dinner, and then I will finish seeing if I can get my blog or my website to upload my pictures so that you guys can have the full view and all of the measurements and score lines. So let me pull in the rest of the cards. So here we go. We got a shaker, we got a fun little happy one, and then we've got a little treat box. All right, guys. Oop, I'm out of the camera on that one. There we go. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see y'all next Monday. I hope you have a great rest of your week. And those of you that are in Florence, South Carolina, I will see you at Dawsey. Have a great night. See you next time. Bye.